Episode 16. The Harvest Pays Back. July 1993. Early July brings long days and short nights to Tässi. Across Estonia, the young republic continues finding its footing in a new world. Markets are opening, trade routes stretching further west, and slowly, cautiously, rural businesses begin to appear where once only state farms existed. In Tässi, the harvest work continues without pause. From early morning until late evening, every farm in the valley is alive with activity. Grain is cut, bales are stacked, and cow feed piles grow fuller by the day. The rhythm of work has become relentless, but this time, the results finally show. For the first time in months, the bank accounts begin to recover. At the Ilves farm, debts are finally paid off. Their gamble on expansion begins to look less risky, and the brothers can breathe a little easier. Even Mägi receives her share of the harvest profits. A small payment perhaps, but proof that cooperation between farms can work. The machines, however, are showing the cost of the season. Engines run hot, bearings wear thin, and every tractor demands careful maintenance if the pace is to continue. Still, as the busiest days begin to settle, Peeter turns his thoughts to something new. For a long time, he has carried an idea quietly in the back of his mind. A small roadside stand by the main road. A place where produce, honey, and farm goods could be sold directly to passing travellers. No middlemen. No waiting, just the farm and the road. July 7th, 1993. Another chapter of the harvest begins.
Hello, wonderful farming people, and welcome back to Pingit Survival Estonia, and we are now on episode 16 already. So pretty much coming to an end of this rest of the silage. Oh, this was turned on. Silage harvest. Get these grass fields done. And I have already placed another tarp silage bunker on the farm. So that was that 250 kroons what it cost. And it has been quite a long time in real life since a few days, but long time to work with this thing. Now I'm getting pretty fed up with those bales, and we have done pretty good. As you can see on the money, we are really good on the money, and more is coming, quite a lot. And I think that baling thing and just keep grinding on those bales and doing that has been quite of a turning point on this series, but I don't know what to do next year because I really don't want to do that thing again. I need to get a bigger baler or something. Just don't do it because it took like maybe 30 hours or something like that. We will see. Oh well, actually we can go now and take a quick peek. So let's take a jump to the tractor because it hasn't been done fully. So I baled this field, and hang on, this gave me it was field 9, yeah, 190 90 straw bales, so nearly 200, and we sold everything and got 20,077 kroons out of that. Yeah, so this is just waiting here. I'm doing it on pieces. I'm using these AI lines with harvester wheat it was. So let's take a head window open here. So what I can tell you that there is no trophy when you hit 1,000 bales. So I have made with this baler now 1,395 bales. Yeah, that is a lot. But this is on the go. I will just, when I get some YouTube video that I'm gonna watch, I'm just gonna continue this and then we're gonna collect those. And I did not manually deliver those bales. I leased an autoload trailer because that is just too much for me, even for me. So let's jump back here and continue this. And what else has been going on? Silage sales has been quite nice amount of money also. I sold few loads, maybe three loads, so that gave me 3,421 kroons. So that is basically what I have had to done because of the wages. So keep those workers going through the harvest, and everything is pretty much harvested. Now only have this little bit here to go, and the sorghum field, and that is one thing which is going to be feed. So we need to get that first silage bunker emptied. So I made a little purchase for that, and it will make things a lot more faster and easier. Just don't have to load with the hand on the forks with the tractor, with trailer. And there's also one bigger, this kind of a forage trailer just popped up, and it's available. But we'll see if I could get it on boost equipment. That would be awesome. That is probably one purchase that we need to get. And I'm still having a little issues with the trailer that I had on the harvest. It didn't accept grass also, so that is really strange. And we are out of the money pit now, and then I sold also the straw bales for Mägi's field. So those were 92 bales, and those gave us 7,346 euros. So that is also one income. So the bales were the thing on this harvest, I think so. And we also have on our own field. That was pretty awesome. So we got 82,316 liters in the loft side. So that is going to be sold in December, I think. And money coming out of that, and also I think I will get that seed tender or try to find something like that and produce or condition our own seeds. Take a few thousand liters out of that old harvest. Just back up a little bit, so I have done this like so manually. The worker hasn't been too keen of this doing this grass to chaff. But it is what it is, and yeah. I noticed one thing that when I'm putting this on the bunker silo, I noticed that when I pack it straight away and try to keep the compaction like over 90% all the time, so that's working pretty good, and so it somehow feels that it's going faster, because the first bunker silo that I compacted, it took a really long time to do, even with those silage wheels, and I've been packing it with this tractor, and it has been working pretty nicely. Yeah, and Ilves brothers, yeah, they paid the first debt that they owed us for the harvesting the first barley fields, so that is done, but they are now again in debt to us a lot, because that windmill is pretty slow, and yeah, it takes a lot of time, but they are paying us in pieces, and they own us now for the half of the wheat what gave. So divided by 2, we both got 115,900 liters. So easily over 200,000 liters came out of those 2 fields, and they owe us now 47,400. So that is a lot of flour to sell, but their stock is now full, and yeah, and they actually needed to sell a little bit out of. I think we're gonna go just like here, like this, really on the edge, like so. Just slowly, that is good height, and then I will compact it again. So this works pretty good like this. And turn around here, but the tree and go back, and let's see how much we have here. Not so much as on the other one. So road just drive here. So yeah, so it was like 96% or something. So 142 now. And I will be just packing it this like so. Somewhere about 93 or so, 92. So it won't take so long after that. With the trailer here. Yeah, it has been really warm weather. It's kind of over 30, but I'm not sure. Maybe that's somewhat realistic, but 34 now. That isn't what if we were a little bit north in Finland, but maybe it is these days possible. in Estonia also. Yeah, as you can see, it really cranks up when you just do it at the start of the compaction, and then it slows down quite a bit on the when you reach the 90%. But it has been working good. There's a strange bump on here on the left, but I can't seem to level it down. It just stays there. Yeah, what else? Let me see. Yeah, so I can confirm that there is no trophy making 1,000 bales on one baler on PS5. Definitely not. I didn't get anything of that, but that is pretty crazy. I think that's easily on most bales that I've ever done. But it's so difficult, you know. I have one baler in mind. Because I can't use, don't want to use kind of too new equipment here. So I'm just trying to, you know, keep it in this. So I have one baler in mind, but that is 89,000. So that is so darn expensive. But getting the money is definitely a motivation to do that thing. You know, because somehow you just, money is so tight all the time, so you just keep grinding and being really happy that you get to that 20,000. Yeah, so that is one thing. And actually I had to service that the Ford script tractor and that baler one time because it went so slow. So that was a little bit unnecessary expense, 2,500, but not too bad. Yeah. Yeah, and this also that our own field, that field 12 there, that own field that gave us that 19,800 crores on straw bales, so not too bad. So that seems to be like 20,000 on every field. And the hay bales from that field over there, that was like what did it be? 96. I think I saw it. Maybe I didn't tell you that. But 96 bales out of that, and it was 11k. Yeah. And obviously we could get more if we just waited to the winter time and stored them, because that holds like 850 bales. No stories, but we'll see. I just want to do something else also. But these guys are pretty full. I think we're gonna get a whole lot of money out of here. And on this episode, I really want to get those sheep done. So I haven't emptied this in a while. So we got also 4 pallets to come, and we got here. This is full, and we got there like so, and quite a lot of stuff to sell. But I'm just waiting for better price, and this will be during winter time really good money waiting there. Yeah, but those sheep, I do want to get them, and I'm not sure do we have now enough money yet. Maybe after the silage sell, because that sheep barn is 40,000 is the budget and that, but that is not include obviously the poles on the fence. So I kind of if we take a little flight here. So I kind of would like to get this part for the sheep all. Here we can see our apple trees. Apples are also for sale. Oh yeah, this is one money coming, and we're gonna make that little sell point there by the road. And yeah, we already have 3 pallets of apple juice. That is really good. So yeah, I would like to make this whole area here a sheep bar or fold, pasture. And I made just a one road over there, and this where I at the start of the series I made kind of a road base. Maybe we will work on that and get a little bit work road base, for Mägi's area. So that would be easier too. You don't have to always go that far from that road, but yeah, we'll see about that, how that develops. And that is pretty much it. Yeah, these are going to the bunker, and I think I will. What we'll do now? I'll just make the rest of this grass field here. Get this sorted and get that silage bunker compacted, covered, and after that we will head to the store and get our solution for the silage handling. So yeah, I will see you a little bit later and we can take a look of the store, because last episode I didn't show you what has happened there. Okay, hopefully I will see you. Stay tuned. Hopefully I will see you later. Okie dokie, welcome back. The silo is now covered and 166,000 liters and change. And at the same, when we are going to get that thingy over there from the store, I'm gonna return this trailer that we borrowed. And luckily I remembered that this tractor has, can lift the whole roof up. It's so warm weather that with fresh air to the cabin, yeah. And here is the store. Maybe it was, I think it was in some outro or something, but yeah, it's coming along. They are, harvester for show and little bit of brands here on the flags, and yeah. Oh my, this would be a dream. Yeah, they actually used it harvesting that field over there. Really nice. Just the latest tech that there is. Wonderful. Look at that. Yeah. Great stuff. And also one thing I think I forgot to mention, or maybe you noticed, some days our tractors have been a little bit cleaner, which is pretty nice, because they have, thanks to the water, running water and sewage, they have now here pressure washer. A little bit old one, but anyway, pressure washer. Oh yeah, these I saw these earlier, but I didn't show you. Look at that, Mercedes-Benz. Oh dang, this would be also a dream. A little bit well worn down. I think it's like 150 horsepower, that one, and then they have a really cool Fiat here. Maybe they probably have serviced it a little bit or something. Or is it waiting for a wash? I don't know. I think we're gonna wash this trailer also for those guys. Yeah, maybe it has been washed, I don't know. This would be really nice also. Lots of new stuff coming. Yeah, we're gonna wash our tractor and the trailer so they don't. The Tams don't need to spend time on that. Yeah, and one purchase is I really do need fuel. We don't have any left at the farm. So that is the one thing. Oh yeah. Oh, this guy would need a little paint job also. But I don't know, is it anywhere because yeah. It is a tool, basically, so. And by the way, the hours on these guys. Let's watch this first to finish. So, or maybe you did so, go back a little bit. The hours on the tractors are the highest that I have ever had on this game. It's just crazy amount, but I kind of like it. 132 hours, and those are real hours. Yeah. Oh my god. But I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe there was a little few hours when we bought this. I can't remember. But oh, there's a sprayer also. We would probably need that, but I don't know. Maybe we could, we probably should need to utilize the manure, or actually we are utilizing it with the, oh first with the apple trees here. It's just, so this is pretty cool. This wasn't too expensive, 2,500, so electric. Just the electric auger pipe, so we can get that silage running. Like so. Nice. Good. Let's fill this guy up. A little bit of fuel. Yeah, so it's, probably I will see you at the farm when we set this guy up. And yeah, let's see how this works. I need to sell that silage, get the bunker cleared. Yeah, see you there. Okay, I accidentally put the auger pipe already in action. I didn't remember to hit record and show you, but there it is running anyway. I think you know how to use those, but let's see how now this trailer, because yeah, does it work or not? I'm getting frustrated. Maybe I will sell this. Let's see. Look at this. Nothing. God damn. No, what the hell? I just, why does it, I move the left stick and up and down. What is that? Look. I don't know what the feature is on this. Oh my god, what's the, hang on. So, why doesn't it have a kind of a now selection of the, I don't know what's going on with this, I think. Well, okay. I did put the expansion now on it, so I was trying to use it with the forage harvester, but it didn't work. But okay, so there's kind of a, yeah, thing there. There's thing there. Oh my god, I don't know what the hell is going on. It's too complicated. obviously. Yeah, this should be 15,000 liter. Oh, we get quite a lot of here. Yeah, but I am going to put the second trailer behind that one. So we're gonna get 2 loads at one go. So yeah. Yeah, but this makes things a whole lot faster, so I don't have to, all the time use the front loader. And that's pretty awesome piece of equipment. But anyway, I think we're gonna do it like that, because this is just I'm filling and hauling and hauling stuff to the sell point. I will sell this. This silage empty the silo all the way, and maybe watch 1 or 2 YouTube videos, do some baling again, maybe, and probably I will build or do the our sell point, farm sales point to by the road, and then I'm gonna build that sheep barn, and we're gonna then after that buy some sheep and do little odd jobs here and there. But I don't know. Yeah, because on my last series on Michigan I did a couple of those build series episodes, and there was not so much views on those, and I'm not actually sure do you want to see those kinds of things, so I'm not gonna show it on this one. But if you do want to show, maybe I'll do that new feature on YouTube, that kind of a quiz or something, maybe if I remember, or you can put it on the comments. Do you want to see those building stuff? But I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, this time I'm just gonna do those and take a little time and decoration and things like that. Yeah, but anyway, see you. Hang on and see you in a bit, and then I'll tell you how much money we got from this side. It's probably not gonna be a lot, but we'll see. Okay guys, welcome back. Construction is done, and this is what we got. And also we got milking things here, so probably we will take goats and shearing. And this came out quite big. Let's take a look here. Look at this. But yeah, meadow. I chose to plant that meadow there, but it says that there is none yet, so I presume that will grow in a couple of months maybe. But anyway, we got 228 possibility to build, and as you can see, money is gone. Everything's gone. Built also this roadside market stall, and actually we owe now still for the TAMs 8,000 for this fencing, so that needs to be paid, and I have loaded here ready to go apples and for the market stall what we have by the road and the raspberries. And for the silage we actually got 25,586, so that was pretty good money, but there was a lot of it. But yeah, I saw the Jan Tam was at the store, so he let me borrow the Ural truck, so it doesn't take so much time and it's a little bit faster than a tractor. So we just hooked up a trailer with that, and everything went pretty smooth. And I need to get Arvo here, and he can start rolling those fields, but I don't know. Yeah, or maybe I need to do it by myself because of the money. But yeah, that is the money. Is now quite a motivation for getting, those bales done and so. And also I sold this trailer full of firewood, so that gave me 4,925. But yeah, that was pretty expensive investment, and we still need to get Mägi that space that she can use that wool and make fabric out of that, and out of fabric a little bit clothing or something like that. But yeah, but I think that actually that market stall, or what would it be called? Maybe like it's like a travelers, little break point, parking point, get a little apple juice refreshment and maybe apples, healthy stuff. And I also, if they can get kids out of the car, and I try to build it like that it would be attractive to children and for the whole family, so they can take a little stretch. I think it came out, it's modest, but came out nice. And there's the reason for that, our tractor. It can be here but now I need to move it a little bit because it's on the way. Or, hang on, is the rigger front or back? I'm not sure. Let's take a look. No, not that. It's in the front. Maybe it can. No, I will move it. Yeah, I wasn't actually sure how. As you can see, it rained. Yeah, but this is really good. So this can be here, kids can play with it, and just remember to take the keys away. Yeah, they can play with it and climb on that and be like a farmer. Let's check. Wow, 11,773. So straight away, let's settle the accounts. So there we need to know. Here we need to move 8,000. I borrowed actually 18,000 from them and paid already 10 back. And transfer. So that is it. No, but oh my god, I transferred it accidentally to the, hang on, to the state. Oh, glad I noticed. No, they had 18,000, yeah. What the hell? These menus. Yeah, so need to transfer 10 here. Yes, now it's settled. Oh my god, I'm glad I noticed that. Okay, so yeah, there's good money out of that. Maybe we will expand this a little at some point. Maybe another store. Yeah, I don't know. But I think that will take vegetables and everything, but I would like to see those fill up. But yeah, a little, swings there, and you can take a photo, and scarecrow there, and tables, and just table and chairs. A couple of signs that this is open, but we will this way. We will dismantle it obviously for the winter. Yeah, and springtime put it back together again. Yeah, but it sure came out really nice. I like it. And actually, I have seen, it inspired me. I have seen similar thing in Estonia. It was kind of a, old woman, grandma there selling different stuff. Like those wheels like so, but after loading the game, they won't be like that. Yeah, that was a good episode of Money Was, but yeah, I hope we just need those sheep now on the pasture. A little bit of grass for them or hay. All right. Let's see what the next episode comes with. Hopefully with wool.
Money is coming in, but not always as quickly as expected. The Ilves mill continues to delay payments, slowing the flow of cash across the valley. Meanwhile, straw bales move rapidly from fields to buyers. The sheer volume of work begins to make one thing clear: a more powerful baler may soon become unavoidable. The Thames travel deeper into Europe in search of machinery, and new brands begin appearing in their sales yard. Peeter gives them a task. On their next journey, they are to look for a larger baler, something capable of handling the growing harvest. But the money for it will have to come from somewhere. Elsewhere on the farm, new life arrives. The long-awaited sheep barn finally receives its first residents. 16 Estonian Blackhead sheep and 8 Saanen goats, chosen with Kati Tam's advice. And by the roadside, Peter's small sales stand begins its quiet work. The income is modest, but steady. And without middlemen, every croon matters. Episode 17 continues the story. Subscribe to the channel and get notified.